Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of your favorite AFC East Divisional show on the internet, the AFC East Roundtable, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans. You are in for a treat today, folks, where we are going to be ranking all of the offensive position groups in the AFC East. Quarterback, offensive line, running back, wide receiver, tight ends. You're going to be hearing it all. And have no fear, we will be doing defense later. Perhaps next week or maybe the week before. Who knows? But I'm very excited to get into this. Special shout out to all of our members who have joined the AFC East Roundtable membership program. You are the real MVPs. We appreciate you. More on that later. TD,
and we have members right here. We got JT, a member in the chat. We got Patriots 12, a member in the chat. Appreciate you guys.
Patriots 12.
And JD the Great, member in the chat. Appreciate you guys.
TD, how you doing, man?
Beautiful day, another beautiful day. I'm glad to be here. It's me and my wife's anniversary. So,
happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary, man.
What's the secret, man? What's the secret?
Ain't no secret, man. It's called love, Kobe. It's called love.
It's called true love, man.
I don't know. Yes, I always hear people saying, the secret. I hear there's a secret. I just want to know
if there's a secret, something wrong. Think about it. Think about what I just said.
Dang.
Wow. Now that's wisdom right there. That's wisdom.
That's wisdom, and I appreciate it.
Right there.
That's wisdom, and I appreciate it. Even
damn.
Bars, man. Bars. Richie, how's life?
Life is feeling great. Shout out to all the members in the chat. I'm feeling generous as we're going to gift 5 members to start off this show because I think giving back to our community means something, and we really do appreciate the members of the AFC East Roundtable. So here are 5 gifted members on behalf of the AFC East Roundtable. Congratulations to Austin Golden Thumb, JC716 for getting your memberships on behalf of the AFC East Roundtable. Folks, a great way to support the channel is by gifting members to other people within the chat. There is an option for you guys to do that. If you're not already a member yourself, highly recommend coming on in. You get custom emojis. Really good way to support the channel here if you guys want to do that. So I wanted to kick things off and give back to the community by gifting 5 memberships on behalf of the AFC East Roundtable because we appreciate you guys.
And that is beautiful. And not only when you buy your own membership, you not only get a shout out from the hosts of all the people that were gifted and or purchase a membership, but you also get priority in the live chat for anybody that leaves a comment to a reasonable degree. As many of you guys know, during season, we could have anywhere between 11 to 1,300 people in here, but all members get priority in overall comments
and super chats, as
and
Patriots 12 came in with the super chat.
Watch the show, and you guys didn't count Brown's 4 NFL titles from the 50s, plus the Bears' 8 NFL titles. You only counted Super Bowls. Yes,
come on,
guys. Patriots 12. Well, look, if that's the case, then all of us need to start acknowledging the Buffalo Bills' 2 AFL championships.
Here we go.
All right, so if you guys are willing to accept that, then, of course, I will start recognizing the 8 titles for the Browns.
All right, disqualified.
Right in a league that no longer exists. All right, anyway, Colby, talk to me. How's life? Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Patriots 12.
Great.
Patriots 12, man, represented, but hey, man, Dan, I'm good. I'm just trying to take advantage of the dull period. Spend time with family, get out, be in the pool for a little bit, because once training camp comes along, we're not going to be off for a while, right? I mean, you got training camp, and then you got roster cutdowns, the regular season. Then we got our events, and then we got the postseason and the Super Bowl, and everything happens again. This is literally the only time of the year where we can relax a little bit. So I'm trying to take advantage of it. But hey, shout out to all my kings. Before the month ends, shout out to all my kings on Men's Mental Health Month. Y'all are worth it, man. Y'all are worth it.
And you know what, man? I got to tell you, even after the Super Bowl, it doesn't stop, because then we're going to the Senior Bowl, and then we're going to the Super Bowl, and then it's free agency, and then it's the draft,
everything
schedule release, and then it's mini camp, and then it's OTAs, and you get about 5 weeks to actually sit back and do nothing. Although that I never do nothing. I'm an absolute workaholic. But no, dude, I empathize, and I also would like to echo that. Shout out to all the men. Man, Men's Mental Health Month. I can appreciate that, baby. Anyway,
yes, sir.
Let's go on ahead and ruin some mental healths here by listing off the top quarterbacks in the AFC East. Best quarterback rooms in the AFC East, folks. I want you to give me 1, 2, 3, and 4, starting off with the rankings.
So
Now,
my
Colby
first
had
question, Dan. Okay,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, that's what I was going to ask.
Colby had an interesting question prior to us going live. He said, Dan, is this currently, or is this based off of where we see them being by the end of the season? I think that was largely a Drake May question. All right.
Yeah.
For me, Colby, don't be so surprised. I wouldn't have Drake May at 4, even if we were going into the preseason.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Yeah.
But
No.
I think going into it, based off of previous performance, slightly a 5% feeling of where it's going to go, but nowhere near your leading factor.
Got you. So mainly right now. Got it. Okay.
Mainly right now, slightly throw in some hopium as well. I'm fine with that. Folks, do us a favor, smash the like button while you are coming in. We want to propel this live stream out to the damn moon. In fact, you know what? Can we get to 200 live viewers during the dead heat of the offseason? I'll tell you what, I know we can, as long as our loyal audience smashes that damn like button. Quarterbacks for me, boys. And let's go one by one and do our best to reserve all of our complaints to the end once we hear everybody's list. But for me, in fact, I will start. Number 1, very clear and obvious answer. I have Josh Allen as the number 1 quarterback in the AFC East. Reigning MVP. Don't really think anybody would be able to debate that otherwise. Number 2 for me is Tua. Surprisingly enough, Dolphins fans, yes, I am giving Tua the second place on my list. I wouldn't celebrate. It just goes to show you how non-competitive this division is. Massive fall off between 1 and 2, but where it stands now is Tua. Number 3, this is probably going to piss off Richie, is Drake May for me. I know that he has a limited sample size. However, I like what I've seen on film. I've been telling you guys, I've been a film junkie for the past couple of weeks. I purchased the NFL Pro where I can filter out all of these situational plays from the 2024 season. Damn, I love it, man. I am a low-key Drake May fan. Number 3 is Drake May. And if we were to go in the direction where Colby wanted to go, I would have had Drake May at 2 based off of expectations. And then number 4, obviously, is Justin Fields. Now, I'm not shitting on Justin Fields, but let's be honest with ourselves. Yes, he's had a couple of flashes here and there, but let's not ignore the fact that Mike Tomlin really made that offense so elementary that anybody would have been able to stat pad and go 4 and 2. It was a very elementary offense. We have seen Mike Tomlin make an elementary offense for a variety of different quarterbacks in the Pittsburgh post-Ben Roethlisberger era, where they have seen reasonable success. Why do you think Duck Hodges looked so damn good? And for a couple of games back in 2020, 2019. Same thing with Mason Rudolph. It's the system. It's not the QB. Justin Fields is number 4. TD, rank your quarterbacks.
So let me make sure we get this straight. So this is just 1 through 4 quarterbacks or quarterback rooms?
This is 1 through 4 quarterbacks. I'm not
starting quarterback.
Yeah. We're gonna go starting quarterbacks, and
If
then
it was
once we end
quarterback
up getting into
rooms,
running backs.
I would actually like that because then Dolphins go bound to the last. Because
No, we'd actually be first. Let's be honest when we talk about rooms.
Yes.
Wait. Let me just make sure this is straight here.
You know
so
what's funny, Dan?
Quinn Ewers and Zach Wilson being backups puts the Dolphins above the Bills. If that's what we were doing.
Yeah, who is they back up?
Mitch Trubisky, who's better than both of your backups.
We have Mitchie Biscuits and Mike White.
And Mike White. The Bills' both backups are better than the both backups of the Dolphins, so I don't get your argument here.
Well,
But TD,
And I would argue the
TD,
Jets have the best
listen, man,
backup
just
quarterback
as-
in the division.
and just as a reminder, I'm
though.
trying to get you to your wife. All right, so starting quarterbacks,
All right.
1 through 4.
Okay.
And you're
the
welcome,
best
Hillary.
quarterback in the division is obvious, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know why we play these games all the time. It's Josh Allen. All right. Barely. But he is the best quarterback in the division. Second best quarterback in the division is Tua Tagovailoa. right there, just under Josh Allen. Might eclipse him this year. Third best quarterback in the division is Mike White. No, I'm just playing. It's gonna be Drake May. Drake May is a better quarterback than Justin Fields, and I'll stick with what Dan said. And the third best in the division, I would actually have to go with the Bills' backup, Trubisky.
Wow. All right,
You
Richie.
said third, by the way, not fourth, but nice try.
He said fourth. Richie,
Yeah, fourth. That's right.
talk to me, man. Quarterback rankings. Let's go.
Yeah, it's Josh Allen, number one, won an MVP. He's definitely earned that mantle. Based off of what we've seen in recency, bias, Tua's got to be number two.
That's right.
Of course. But I'm going to sit here and argue Justin Fields 3. Because in the small sample size of Justin Fields, I'll sit here and say this. If Justin Fields played the entire season and not get benched, I think that he would have had a better season than Drake May. And in the small sample size that Justin Fields had, he was graded as the better quarterback than Drake May. And you can bring up all the excuses of the support around him and the instability and the playmakers, but that's just the reality of it, that Justin Fields was graded as the better passer and the better quarterback. Very marginally, not by a high metric, but small sample size, but those are the truth. That is the metrics. So I'm going to sit here and everyone's saying Drake May is better than Justin Fields. I'm not going to argue it because it's not like concrete that Justin Fields is better than Drake May. I think this is the season where we're going to see that because we have not seen the full potential of Drake May yet. And I don't think that we've seen the full potential of Justin Fields yet. We're going to see who he is this upcoming season. Same thing goes for Drake May. But I'm going to go with the mobility aspect of Justin Fields and the upside that brings, and it's going to open things up. And that's why I'm going to put Justin Fields above Drake May, not by a large margin, by any stretch of the imagination, but I do believe in the upside of Justin Fields enough and what we've seen last year, and excited to see what he does with the Jets. And then Drake May, number 4, I think that Drake May has a chance to actually prove to be a legit starting quarterback in this league with this team, and my eyes are on him to the point where is he good enough to elevate the guys around him? Because I'm sick of hearing the excuses that he's got nobody around him. Good quarterbacks succeed with nobody around him. Justin Herbert doesn't really, didn't have the weapons. He had the coaching, and he had a solid season that won football games last year. There's a lot of quarterbacks that prove that they can win despite weapons. So I'm curious to see if Drake May is a baller or not. Is he capable of showing that you can win despite the weaponry around him? Last year, obviously, rookie season, bad coaching staff, everything was out of the rails. He gets a pass on that end. This is the season where we get to see who Drake May really is.
Colby, talk to me.
Number 1, Josh Allen. Okay?
Thank you.
That's all I'm going to say. We're just going to move forward. There's no reason. Number 1, Josh Allen.
Boo.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Tua.
Him.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Tua. I think Tua is the most proven. I think when Tua is healthy, he definitely does excel the Dolphins' offense. I think we saw that last year when they tried multiple different quarterbacks when Tua got hurt, and it still didn't look good. Tyreek didn't look as good. I do think that Tua does elevate that Miami Dolphins offense. So for right now, I am going to put Tua at number 2, but does he stay healthy? I think that's going to be the biggest question for him. Number 3, I'm going to go with Drake May. And you know what? I'm not going to hate on Richie. Richie's riding for his guy. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. So you know what? As I don't want to say delusional as I think it is, but as much as I don't agree with it, I do respect Richie. But here's the thing. Justin Fields is on his 3rd team. He was drafted only back in 2021, and he is already on his 3rd team. He was viewed as a backup quarterback with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you can say, oh, well, he put up a 4-2 record. Wins are not a quarterback stat. Last time I checked, wins are brought together by a team. Okay, that 4-2 record, he could have the worst performance out of all quarterbacks throughout those weeks, but they could still win that game based off of the supporting cast he has. So to me, the wins don't mean anything. And still, nonetheless, he got benched for Russell Wilson. So still, at the end, what does that say? And whether he was with the Bears, whether he was with the Steelers, he still had better and significantly better supporting cast than Drake May had last year with the New England Patriots. A better offensive line, better weapons. And you want to talk about the rushing standpoint of Justin Fields, I completely agree with that. I think he's one of the most dynamic rushing quarterbacks in the National Football League. But what holds him back is those major inconsistencies as a passer. And I think that's what excels Drake May over somebody like Justin Fields, that he is a better passer. And the thing, too, is that Drake May, he's a dynamic rusher of the football, too. You even look at it last year, he had 421 rushing yards, 32.4 yards per game, 2 rushing touchdowns, which led all quarterbacks in scramble yards with 349 and forced missed tackles with 12 since he started in week 6. So I do think that we have to keep in mind Drake May had a brand new coaching staff top to bottom last year, right? Coming into his first situation. All those guys are gone. He's in a brand new situation this year. The guys that he was able to rely on last year, and Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, those guys dealt with injuries. Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, both guys that they drafted in last year's draft to be complementary pieces for him, they were not existing.
One question.
Tyquan Thornton released. KJ Osborne released. This year, it is different. Go ahead, Richie. One question.
Go ahead. The passing is what separates the two. Now listen, small sample size of Fields in his 6 games with the Steelers. But in those 6 games, according to PFF last year, he had a better passing grade than Drake May.
He had a better O-line and he had better receivers.
So that's the reason. Okay. Just want to ask. That's the reason. Nothing to do with Justin Fields. It's all his weapons and everything around.
It was the weapons, yes.
Okay. The weapons of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Naturally, you're going to be graded higher when you have. You're naturally going to be graded higher when you have a better O-line and you have better receivers. Keep in mind,
his O-line is how much better the Steelers O-line? The O-line for the Steelers is trash.
Drake May had the worst offensive line unit all the way from the preseason all the way to week 18, and the Patriots wide receivers.
I was just want to make sure because I knew that's exactly what your answer was going to be.
The wide receivers for the Patriots also last year ranked 29th in the NFL in separation rate. So the wide receivers and the O-line were some of the worst in the league, period.
Why y'all always fight over me?
I'll tell you what.
Just a simple question.
It's going to be
just a simple question.
So it's going to be heavily debated all offseason. Please sound off in the comments, all right, whether or not that you are watching the clip of this episode or you're just in the live chat. That's for damn sure. And I got to say, right before we end up transitioning over to the running back room, I've had a couple of people in the chat saying, Dan, are you wearing a Green Bay Packers shirt? I am not wearing a Green Bay Packers shirt. I am wearing a Georgia Bulldogs shirt. Why am I wearing a Georgia Bulldogs shirt? Because number one, surprisingly enough, I am a Bulldogs fan. And then number two, something that's even more exciting, Roundtable Sports is expanding to college football this year. If you enjoy Fourth and Forever, which is our daily NFL news show, we are going to be launching a college football news show beginning in August. All right. We have a couple of really good creators that cover college ball. I will also be a host of said episode. So if you are a college football fan, stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have all that information and that channel ready for you to go subscribe, have bell notifications turned on. I'm feeling really good about that show, and I cannot wait for you guys to hop on in. Go Dogs, and the SEC is the best conference in college football. Just saying. Anyway, we have Lino has come in and is saying, we've seen Justin Fields' potential. You just don't want to see the reality. Richie, once again, Drake May, Pro Bowl, Fields, none.
I'll say this again. If you use that Pro Bowl as a thing in a debate, come on, Lino. I know you know ball, so I'm not going to say you don't know football, but don't bring up Pro Bowls, especially when they asked like 4 or 5 different quarterbacks. They all said no, so their literal only option remaining was Drake May. So, like, what are we doing here? He was like the 7th alternate, and we're going to celebrate him. The same thing happened with Mac Jones. I mean, let's be honest here. Mac Jones is a Pro Bowl for the Patriots. How did that go, Lino? Come on. What are we doing here?
Mac Jones will go. What do you mean?
Well,
Mac Jones Pro Bowler. That ended up well.
It's great. You know what? Like, and so I'm actually pretty sure that I made a Pro Bowl one year. Anyway, let's go on ahead and go into the running back room. And this is certainly off topic, but like I was thinking about like future down in this show where we go through tight ends. I'm not sure who the hell has a good tight end room in this division. But anyway, let's go back to running backs. Let's go back to running backs here. For me, it's interesting.
Can I say something real quick? Because something came out today which was interesting within the AFC East in the running back position.
Okay.
And that is Teron Armstead apparently is now in the media. Right? He retired. He's on Good Morning Football. And he went on Good Morning Football today. And listen to what he said about who he thinks is going to be the number 1 running back.
Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. I think it's a response year from Breece Hall. We saw the explosion early in his career, and he was derailed by injury. I think it's this year. He takes off and he shows form. He's a top 5 running back in the league. I think with Justin Fields over there as well, we get more of the dynamic of that added element. You have to worry about the quarterback, so a lot of RPOs. As we see with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and those guys, it's a lot of discipline.
So I just find it interesting, that the former Miami Dolphin is the one to say this, that he has Breece Hall and Braylon Allen as the potential best running back tandem.
That's not what he said.
In the NFL.
Speculation.
It's 1-2 punch. He's predicting that it will break
what
out.
he thinks they're going to be. And I'm
TD. The prompt of this was who's going to be the best 1-2 punch in the running back position.
Okay, that's who he believes it's going to be. But how convenient when it's time to list who the best running backs are. Not who we think they're going to be.
I'm just saying. The only reason why I brought that up is because it was a Miami Dolphin that said it last. Teron Armstead said it.
He also said who was the next Drew Brees. And
I hear him say his own boys.
Miller.
I'm saying it was a Dolphin that said it. That's AFC East, some analysis.
Yeah. See, he's getting in your brain, Dan and Kobe, to try to get you.
No, I'm just saying it came out today. I thought it was good context.
Running back in the AFC.
I thought it was good context.
We know who it is. Let's go.
Well,
he knows
folks,
who's
coming. So here's my thing. It's very difficult and to look at running backs because so much of their success, or at least a lot of their success, has to do with how good of a run blocking scheme that your team offers. Some running backs are still able to succeed off to the outside, speed guys, also guys that can contribute in the passing game. So it's difficult for me here. I love what the Buffalo Bills did in the run game last year, but I will probably account 60% of the success to our run game based off of our run blocking scheme. So if I am going based off of skill as far as like who I think are actually quality, like really, really good running backs that I think that would be wonders behind a Buffalo Bills offensive line, number one for me is going to be the New York Jets with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. I just think that they are very talented.
Are we picking
I think
a room
that
now?
they are. And dude,
yeah, this is a room.
Don't
For
worry.
running backs is a room for sure.
It's running backs is a room. So
It's
so
a
we're
tandem.
going
You play
room
one
right
quarterback
here.
on the field, but in running back position, use all of them.
Yeah. We are going with running back room here, right? And listen, I know that you're a big Achane guy, and I certainly appreciate that. I am also an Achane guy. I think that he is very talented. But following that, I would probably have to go with the Buffalo Bills with James Cook and then Ray Davis, who I have a lot of, I'd say optimism, plus Ty Johnson, who's RB3, who's an absolute dog.
Sleeper.
Followed by the Dolphins, I have Achane. I think Wright is unproven. I have Alexander Mattinson. I had no idea that he was even still in the league. And then Ollie Gordon the second.
Ollie Gordon, that's right.
Who's a rookie, and it's
Braylon
very
Allen.
difficult. And again, like we said, we established these ground rules, and we said that we can't go based off of what we think is going to happen, just based off of talent. And then last but not least is going to have to go with the New England Patriots with Ramondre Stevenson. Colby, I'm not even particularly sure who your RB2 is. I know that y'all struggled with the offensive line. Again, I'm going to have to keep the Patriots there because there's so many different question marks. I like Henderson.
Yeah,
I
Henderson
do a lot.
is the outlier. If he balls, which is
And
possible.
He very well could. He very well could rise up these boards for me. But that's where I have. Jets with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, solid duo, absolutely insane.
Don't
Followed
sleep
by
on
the
Isaiah.
Bills in James Cook, Ray Davis, followed by Ty Johnson, absolutely nuts. Then the Dolphins with Devin Achane and a bunch of unproven / washed up guys, and then the New England Patriots. That's
And
me.
Dan, and I'll say this real quick. The context that you added in terms of the running scheme is very important, and that is a big reason for your list, and I respect it.
Thank you, sir. TD.
Proves that you know ball and watch film. Go on.
Thank you, sir. TD.
Who was your
you're
number
muted.
one there?
Who's
No,
the
I'm
Jets?
It was the Jets. Okay. Number one is the Miami Dolphins, okay? Achane is the best running back in the division right now. Let's just call it what it is. And I'm glad Dan brought up run scheme as well. Dolphins led by zone blocking. They were one of the worst in the league last year. And we know what time it is with A-Chain, and we got that back going into this year. But he is the best running back in the division. He's the most talented right now. Yes, he is. Richie, yes, he is. Jalen Wright.
I'd argue James Cook is better.
James, stop. Okay, stop. James Cook is not better than A-Chain. Okay, start your franchise right now. You gonna take Cook?
Yeah.
Dan, are you taking Cook or A-Chain? You starting right now?
How old is A-Chain?
Young.
So is Cook.
I'd probably still side with Cook because with A-Chain has had an injury history.
Okay,
I mean, he's had an injury history, man.
Okay, if he didn't have any injury, just from his play, who you taking?
Oh, yeah, I'd take H-N, but that's not the reality. He's hurt all the time.
Wait, but why would you take H-N? What has H-N done in his career to warrant that he's better than James Cook? James Cook had the better statistics across the board two years straight.
H-N got hurt. That's it.
That's still projecting, though.
I don't care about that. That's projection. I care about what have you done on the football field.
Yeah.
James Cook is objectively the better running back. Period.
Yeah. So here's the deal.
16 touchdowns.
All right. It's very hard for me. It's very hard for me to like pinpoint how good H-N truly is because Miami's offensive line is so bad.
Garbage.
That the majority of his production is passes behind the line of scrimmage, and that's not a knock at Tua. That's because that's the only way that they can mimic any sort of ground attack from that offense. Short little passes, running back screens behind the line of scrimmage. I haven't really seen what H-N can do behind a somewhat competent offensive line. Can he find the gaps?
And also, Dan, where's this narrative coming from that he's hurt all the time? He played all his games as a rookie, couldn't even touch 1,000 yards. 17 games played, did not touch 1,000 yards. Last year, missed 6 games. He missed 6 games last year. Why are we making it seem like he's hurt all the time?
No, Richie, you got to put the context. His rookie season, which he had 800 yards, he was the backup back to Mostert, who went off that year. I think he had like 1,500 yards. And A-Chain put in 8 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, A-Chain was more of a pass threat and still rushed for 907 yards. His passing, they actually threw them in. Oh, James Cook ain't better. Stop.
So with CD, so here's why your list doesn't make sense because we're looking at rooms. And whether or not that you believe H-N is better than Cook and Breece Hall, I think that we can all agree that it's not a significant difference or a significant gap. It's very close. So you're beginning to tell us that you think that Jalen Wright is better than both Ray Davis and Braylon Allen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay, you're not. All right. Yeah.
All right, now we can throw this out.
I can't do it.
We tried to keep bias out. All right. What are we even doing here?
Listen.
That's
that much
pure delusion. That's pure delusion.
You're right.
What was the rest of your list,
Stevie? He is not. Okay, you're right. I was trolling there. He isn't better than those guys, but A-Chain is so much more superior than those other guys. That's why I put our room. What y'all don't realize about A-Chain, last year the man had 907 rushing yards, and he had literally 78 receptions for 600 yards. That's because they needed to use him as a pass threat more because the O-line was so bad. They really used him to actually catch the football. Like, what running back out here putting up the 600 receiving yards and the 80 catches? Can you tell me the running back doing it?
Breece Hall 2 years ago was second in the NFL in all-purpose yards.
You said Breece Hall last year was going to be.
I'm kind of curious to see how many of those rushing yards came from a pitch.
He was,
or came from attacking the D gap.
Nah, it was right on the interior, Dan, because for some reason it was used to be our strength, but we couldn't run the ball outside.
Okay.
Anyway, all I'm saying is go look at it. The man literally was our pass threat last year and still put up over 900 rushing yards. So
Breece Hall had 76 receptions in a season, by the way.
In a season, and still not more than A-Chain.
You're making it seem like A-Chain's the only one that can do that.
You're talking about a team where you had the Jets. He had to be a threat. We got Tyreek and Waddle, and he's putting them numbers up. Come on,
Garrett
man.
Wilson.
And John who had a Pro Bowl season.
All right. Well, so an effort And to
Okay.
make sure that we get this show done in an hour and 15 minutes, please finish your list, TD. Thank you.
Dolphins, Jets. I gotta go. Patriots, Bills. I mean, Patriots still got Ramondre, don't they?
You think Ramondre is better than James Cook?
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. You know what?
Cook is
I'm not even
eating
gonna
off of
bite.
Josh Allen.
I'm not even gonna bite.
Cook was.
I'm not
eating
even
off
gonna
of Josh
bite.
Allen threat.
Richie, talk to me. List. Richie, talk to me. List, please. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bite on that one.
Oh,
That's crazy.
man. I'm really excited to finally see the full potential be unleashed with the Jets running back duo. I really think when you add in the proper scheme and offensive line, we're finally going to see the Breece Hall versus Braylon Allen duo fulfill the potential we thought they were last year, but they just was a mess from a schematic standpoint, and I don't even want to get into that. So I'm going to agree with Dan with his list, honestly. Jets number 1. I think that Bills are number 2 because I do believe in James Cook is better. And I also think Ray Davis and Ty Johnson is such a slept-on player for the Buffalo Bills that just makes plays when you just don't expect him to. I mean, that catch he had in the end zone, he was a former Jet, so Jets fans are very familiar with Ty Johnson. I think the Bills' running back room is deeper. The Miami Dolphins, they have A-Chain. Mostert's not there anymore. Alexander Madison's still in the league, apparently. Jalen Wright's unproven. Ollie Gordon, I mean, he's just a big, powerful
dude.
guy. Yeah,
he's a
want to
big
be
dude.
Braylon Allen.
Eric Henry size.
Yeah, like when it comes to a room, the Bills have the better running back in James Cook, and they're deeper. Ray Davis is better than anybody else on the Miami Dolphins running back room besides Devon Achane. And Tyler Johnson is better than anybody else, too. So they're the deeper room.
In fact, you know what? Like, I would even argue that Ty Johnson, our RB3, would automatically be RB2 for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, he would. And I also wanted to come back to the Jets at number 1. Don't sleep on Isaiah Davis. You guys don't know him yet. He's our running back 3. He's going to be a screen machine, and he showed a lot of upside. He had a touchdown last year against the Dolphins. Don't sleep on Isaiah Davis as a running back 3. Don't know him now. You will know him this season. And then I got the Dolphins number 3 and the Patriots number 4. And the Patriots at number 4, I do think they do have upside with the rookie that they brought in. If he can really... And Antonio Gibson's no scrub either. Like, he's a veteran that you can trust. Stevenson's no bum. I think this running back position is in good hands in this division from an overall perspective. So I agree with Dan's list.
Here's what I don't understand, this whole Braylon Allen crap. The man was a rookie last year, only rushed for 334 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaged 3.6 per carry, and we're making it seem like he's that solidified number 2. Jalen Wright is a better running back than Braylon Allen. Like, for us to, and maybe he not, but for us to try to put him over him, that doesn't make sense. And A-Chain is better than Breece Hall. So this whole notion that the Jets running back room is above, no, stop it. Y'all got hyped off for Braylon Allen in 1 or 2 games where he made some
Teron
big plays.
Armstead knows.
Man, stop.
You're wrong.
Yeah, well, he wrong.
Damn. Colby, what do you got, man? Running backs. Talk to us.
Well, I'm gonna do what we were supposed to. I'm gonna really base this off of what I know, what I've seen, with very slight projection into the future. Because I'm hearing a lot of they have the potential to do this. I think they're gonna do this. Not what have they actually done. Number 1, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. You got the best running back in the division right now. Okay, I like Breece. I think Breece has the potential, but James Cook is undoubtedly the best running back in the division right now. Will he be here in the future? I don't know. So the Bills are 1 right now, but they could very well go down to 4 if James Cook ain't here in 2026. But we'll cross that bridge when it ultimately comes. But 2 back-to-back seasons of 1,000 yards. And I just really, really like this running back core that the Bills have because I think it's underrated. To me personally, I like having a running back core that is dynamic, that can do multiple different things. And I think that we saw, especially in the postseason for the Buffalo Bills, more specifically against the Broncos, that you have guys outside of James Cook that can make plays, not just on the ground, but also in the receiving game. Ray Davis, 4.2 yards per carry. You also had Ty Johnson go for 4.8 yards per carry. Like, I think they have a deeper running back core than people give them credit for, not just on the ground, but also through the air. So it's obviously led by James Cook, but I'm definitely going with the Buffalo Bills, number 1. Number 2, I'm definitely going with the New York Jets. And Richie, I don't know if I told you this on the show or if I told you this off air. Maybe I didn't even tell you at all. But I actually think that Braylon Allen, I don't know why. Have you ever just felt something? You don't know why, but you just feel it. I have this feeling that Braylon Allen is actually going to be your running back 1. I mean, we're having conversations on Could Breece Hall potentially be traded? He's a potential, trade deadline candidate. I think that Braylon Allen, he was better for you last year, and I really feel like he's going to break out, and he's going to be a dog for you this year. He's going to be the better guy when it's all said and done. But I do like both of those guys. I do like the 1-2 punch that they have. You have Breece Hall, who's more of that fast, elusive guy with the receiving upside. Then you have Braylon Allen, who's going to put his shoulders down and just run through a guy. So I definitely like that core. I think it has potential to be better, but Breece Hall definitely was disappointing this past season. He took a step back, and I have to put that into play right now, again, based off of what we know. Number 3, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins. Look, I just think that this running back core fits your scheme. I don't think that if these running backs are in different schemes per se, that they're going to be as dynamic. I like A-Chain, but A-Chain just goes fast. Like, A-Chain to me is not this dynamic running back. It's just you had a good O-line that could get him into space. He's a track star. He's just faster than the other defenders. That's pretty much it. That's all it is for me. You got Jalen Wright. And I like him. He showed potential. But
that's the best analysis I've heard yet from Colby.
The score it just doesn't scare me. Then you look at the Patriots, and I think by the end of 2025, the Patriots are going to drastically shoot up these rankings. But right now, based off of what we know, I have to give them last, and I don't like it, but I have to. Ramondre Stevenson led running backs in fumbles. I think that's in large part because of the bad offensive line play. Now, Antonio Gibson was actually really, really good over the last 2 seasons. He's been top 5 amongst running backs in forced missed tackles and yards after contact. Last year's coaching staff didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know how to utilize these running backs. They didn't know how to scheme them up. Josh McDaniels knows how to do so. He loves the running game. It's going to be a run-first dynamic offense for the Patriots this season. Take that pressure off of Drake May. Don't sleep on Ramondre Stevenson. As long as he can take care of the football, he had 1,400 all-purpose yards just back in 2022. His rookie year in 2021 with Josh McDaniels before he left for Vegas was one of his best years. You have Travion Henderson, who is a very dynamic running back, right? He had first-round projection. Patriots get him in the second. He was the best pass-blocking running back in this entire class, has receiving upside. He's watching James White film to try to be a better receiving back, and I think he's going to be a really good change of pace back also. So I think this team has something special with their running backs, but the questions are going to be on the offensive line. And again, based off of what we saw last year, you have to give the Patriots last for now.
Damn. I'll tell you what, I have a feeling that's going to be our most popular. So I have a feeling that that's going to be our most popular clip that we upload. Like, that's going to be a very popular clip. And, Richie, I can only envision the thumbnail that we're going to put on that clip for the running back debate in the AFC East. I think it's going to look great, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Breece Hall better than
hey, well, you know what, man? Listen, we can have a whole other episode unpacking that ad nauseum. Because you know what? It's time to talk about wide receivers in the AFC East.
So this one,
tell you what.
This one, are we doing rooms or players?
Rooms.
Okay.
Rooms.
Yeah, you better. You better.
We're doing rooms
and it
here.
still don't matter. Still number 1.
Okay. All right.
Because wide receivers, you can argue you can do like a top 6 players.
No. We're doing rooms in general.
Okay.
So for me, this is interesting. Hold on. I gotta pull up a couple of depth charts here. And with TD had to go take a walk.
It's not interesting, Dan. This is a no-brainer. Why are y'all
dude, listen, I'm trying to... All right, dude. I'm trying here to help you out.
Well, how about you tell everybody number 1 and then try?
Right. It's difficult. However, rooms, I'm going to have to go with the Miami Dolphins number 1. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I do still like Malik Washington. I am high on him, surprisingly enough. I think that he could still take on a larger role. I'm interested to see whether or not Tyreek is still going to be on the Miami Dolphins by trade deadline time. However, where it stands, I think Miami is number 1. I think there's no question there. Number 2, surprisingly enough, I know that everyone likes to troll the Buffalo Bills and their wide receiver room. But as far as productivity, a very productive group. I was leaning the Jets because Garrett Wilson is very good wide receiver. He's top 10 in this league. He is. But I'm not as impressed with their wide receiver room behind him. Josh Reynolds, you have Alan Lazard, you You have Malachi Corley, you have Arian Smith, Tyler Johnson. So it's really a one-man show here. I love Khalil Shakir. Like, dude had well over 900 yards last year. He was a yak machine. A lot of upside from Josh Reynolds. No, excuse me. From Joshua Palmer and from Elijah Moore. And yes, that's all speculation. I'm gonna have to go Buffalo 2, but it's close. 3, I'm gonna have to go with the New York Jets. And then 4, I'm gonna have to go with the New England Patriots. Because right now Stephon Diggs is the only receiver on that roster outside of a couple of rookies they drafted last year. Kyle Williams, who, as many of you know, I really wanted on the Buffalo Bills. I'm optimistic, but I'm going based off of what I have seen. And can't deny a unit that helped Buffalo become the second team with the most 30-plus points in a season in NFL history.
All right, Mina Kimes.
It's gonna be Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots. TD, talk to me.
Miami, obviously, the much more superior
Look who it is.
wide receiver core. Parks in the building, man.
That's my guy.
Parks?
Dude.
His list is terrible, but yeah, he in the building.
Terrible.
Miami. I mean, you can divide Miami by 5 and it'll still be the best. But number 2 for me, I'm actually gonna go with the Jets. Garrett Wilson is better than any room the Bills or the Patriots got. I mean, Garrett Wilson himself is better than both of y'all rooms.
Yeah, true.
Number 3, I got to go with the New England Patriots. Stephon Diggs is still better than Keon, and the Bills ain't got nothing else after that.
What about Shakir?
Yeah, the Bills ain't got nothing else after that. Okay. If you'd have still had Mac Hollins, I would have considered it. Where's Mac Hollins now?
The Patriots.
Yeah, he's on the Patriots.
Yep, the Patriots, and then the Bills last for me.
Dude,
So
he received for 300 yards last year.
It doesn't matter. That's a little compliment in the unit.
But anyway, all right, go ahead.
We said unit, so that's my 4 in order. Miami.
And so I have been being gaslighted by Bills fans that Mac Hollins was like some crazy talent on this roster last year.
Dog.
You guys are insane. Anyway, Richie, wide receiver rooms. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with the previous, the washed up receiver duo of Waddle and Hill, who once was the top duo in the league, by the way. That's fell down. I don't even think they're a top 5 duo in the league anymore. Remember, they used to be the number 1. I think they fell out of top 5. I can name at least 5, maybe even more wide receiver duos that are better than them. So, yeah, they're better. They're number 1 in the division, but Tyreek's trending downhill, and Waddle's got to prove something to me. But they have the 2 best receivers on the same team. And I'm going to agree with TD with the Jets at number 2, and here's why. Not just because of Garrett Wilson, who's better than everybody else, but who is better on the Bills, wide receiver-wise, besides Khalil Shakir, than the Jets' number 2 potential of Josh Reynolds? Keon Coleman's not better. Joshua Palmer, you can argue, is like cancel out, but I think Reynolds has a better.
It's tough with the Bills, right? Because Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore are nothing but upside.
Yeah, and they're unproven with the Bills. We don't know who they are yet.
Like, we are just optimistic that they haven't been utilized correctly, and I think that there's a good argument with that. But
because if you look at
Josh, it's just fluff.
Yeah, if you look at Josh Reynolds' numbers the last time he played, which was with the Lions when he was healthy, which is the same scheme we're implementing, Josh Reynolds had 40 catches, 600 yards, and 5 touchdowns. If he can do that with the Jets, being a number 2 next to Garrett Wilson, who can put up hopefully really dynamic numbers, that's the guy that I think is going to be a sleeper. And also Tyler Johnson is the young guy on this receiver room for the Jets that's going to be able to hopefully take advantage of his opportunities. And then I got the Bills at 3 because they've produced, they have succeeded, they have a high-powered offense. Khalil Shakir is very underrated. I think he deserves to be a guy to be reckoned with in this league. And I'm really excited just to see Keon Coleman. Like, is this guy a bust, or is he going to make some plays? Elijah Moore, I also think, has a chance, who has upside, I agree, and Palmer has upside as well. But the Garrett Wilson effect is really weighing into the Jets, of course, who I think by the end of this season could be the best receiver in the division, because I don't think Tyreek's going to be the Tyreek Hill that we've seen in the previous years. And then New England Patriots last with the upside with Diggs, if he's healthy, could definitely even surpass the Bills.
Perhaps. Colby, thoughts?
Yeah, number one, it's definitely the Miami Dolphins. I do think that they're getting older. I certainly do have my concerns. I definitely think they're coming a little bit more down to earth, but this is not a good wide receiver group overall in the AFC East. Like, let's not hype this up. It's not like running back where I think there's a lot of potential. The wide receiver group is really not good. But easily right now, it is the Miami Dolphins. I don't think that is a debate. Number two, I'm going to go with the New York Jets. And it's really because, like you said, Garrett Wilson. But I do have my concerns about Garrett Wilson because Garrett Wilson popped more off when Devontae Adams got there, allowed him to kind of, get those one-on-one matchups and whatnot. But now I'm a little bit concerned because if you look at the New York Jets, Garrett Wilson is like the guy that you are trying to take away right now. Like, that is the threat in the passing game you're taking away. So can he get open against double teams? Maybe even sometimes we're going to throw triple teams on him. That's to be determined. Okay, I'm not going to say he can't do it. That's to be determined. But I am a little bit concerned. Honestly, the depth there at wide receiver behind him is not good. And I like Josh Reynolds as like a wide receiver 3 at absolute best. And I know Richie put out there the stat that, in 2023, he put up 600 yards and 5 touchdowns. But let's not be fooled. In 2024, he put up 1 reception for 11 yards because he was injured. But he was injured. In 2024, he was injured. 183 yards on 12 receptions. Before 2023, in 2022, 400 yards. In 2021, 90 yards. And also in 2020, I guess, played with the Titans end lines, also put up 300 yards. So, again, you get a little bit of an idea with what Josh Reynolds is going to be. I don't think he's going to be a 600-yard guy because I don't think he's going to stay healthy. And when that guy is your number 2, that's concerning. But you got Garrett Wilson, so I'm gonna leverage that for you guys. Jets are number 2. Number 3, I'm actually going to go with the New England Patriots. Okay, Stephon Diggs here. I think that him knowing the AFC East is going to be huge. Based off of reports coming out from spring practices, he doesn't look like he tore his ACL. He looks really good. He's on pace to play week 1. He's helping teach the young guys and Jalen Polk and Javon Baker and all of these young bucks of wide receivers they've brought in over the last few years. He was actually on pace with the Houston Texans to go for over 100 catches and over 1,000 yards. I don't know if he's going to be that for the Patriots. Of course, he's coming off of that torn ACL. But even if he can be 80, 90% of that, if he can give us 900 yards, that's the best wide receiver the Patriots have had since 2019 Julian Edelman. So I definitely think that he has the potential to be better than the number 1 wide receiver on the Buffalo Bills and Khalil Shakir. And I don't think that is a debate. You also have Matt Collins. And Matt Collins, of course, he has experience also within the division, which I think is going to be big. Dan will say he only put up 378 yards for us. And that's true. He did.
Damn,
but
nice voice, Dan.
Matt Collins in 2022 with the Raiders, who, by the way, who was the head coach of the Raiders in 2022? Oh, yeah, it was Josh McDaniels, who is now the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. That was a career year for Matt Collins. Matt Collins put up 690 yards, 12.1 yards per reception, long catch of 60 yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns. I think he's going to be way better than he was in Buffalo. You got Pop Douglas, who it has the second best drop percentage. He's a very reliable receiver. Second best drop percentage. He's tied for the second best drop percentage in the entire National Football League. And statistically, he's one of the best wide receivers in getting open in the entire NFL against press man coverage. You also have Kyle Williams, who you're bringing in to be this speedster, who's also a really good technician, runs a really good route tree. He statistically in college football was one of the best wide receivers. He was top 3 in yards against man coverage and touchdowns against man coverage. So I think that the Patriots definitely have the potential here. And I just think straight off, they're going to have a better overall core than the Buffalo Bills. I don't believe in the Buffalo Bills. Like I like Shakir. I really do. But outside of him, what do you got? You got Keon Coleman. I didn't like Keon Coleman even before the Buffalo Bills drafted him. He even knows his tape was ass last year. What did he do? Supposedly, he put on muscle, and the before and after photo that Roundtable Sports posted, He looks the exact same. Nothing looks different about him. I just don't think that Keon Coleman is a true NFL number 1 or even a number 2 wide receiver. He gives me N'Keal Harry vibes. I said that coming out of the draft, and I still firmly believe it. You have Curtis Samuel.
N'Keal Harry.
You have Curtis Samuel. Dan, I told you.
What a
I
bust.
told you the dude was washed up. He's not good. Okay, this ain't 2020. This ain't 2019.
Curtis
Okay?
Samuel, he's coming up. He's coming up.
Y'all need to make a
His
move.
time is now, Colby. His time is now.
Now, the
All
one
right.
thing I'll say about the Bills real quick is what they have over any one of us is production, not talent.
Yeah, it's
Josh Allen.
look, man. We have the island of
production.
misfits over in Buffalo, but it works. It works, man. Like we scored 30 points, 12 games last year. That's
Yeah, and they put up
pretty
numbers.
damn
They put
insane.
up points.
Because of Josh Allen. Not
and
because of the
that's
receiver
okay.
coach, because of Josh Allen.
And look, you know what? Like stocking up on crazy wide receiver talent hasn't necessarily been a model that works. Just ask the Cincinnati Bengals. However, I'm okay with it. By the way, Richie, I think that clip where Colby's shitting on Keon Coleman needs to be a clip on X. On X. Look, man,
You just got to remind me after.
my marketing brain is, well, I'm going to slack you right now, fool. Anyway,
Well, Dan, you're also going to like to hear this report.
go ahead.
Breaking news.
Oh,
246 live right now in the AFC East Roundtable in the dead of
wow.
the offseason.
Dude, you know what? It's all because, dude, you know what? Like, we
That's a
need,
lot.
so we need a name for our audience, right?
The Roundtablers.
Nah,
Something
something better. How about the Gooners?
Finn's
Oh,
house.
boy.
The Gooners. Thank you, Gooners. We appreciate
But
you.
the question is, Dan, how many like
Yeah.
buttons have been smashed?
That is a great question. Folks,
103. Can we get to 200?
And so I think that we can, right? Because I said that I wanted us to get to 200 live viewers during this episode, and the way that we can get there would quite simply just be by you guys smashing that like button. My goal was 200 live viewers. I think we can crack 350. I think that's absolutely beautiful. So smash that like button for us. And for anybody that's new here and hasn't subscribed, highly recommend you do so you never miss an episode over here on
Shout out
Roundtable
to our roundtablers, man.
Sports. Man, you know what?
Shout out to the Roundtablers.
Shout out to the Roundtablers. A lot of people are not happy with the Gooners recommendation, but here we go. Here we go. What do you? Hey, listen.
They
you
want to
know
be the
what?
Knights.
Two as kids.
To
Oh,
his
God.
kids. Okay.
More
Someone in the
more
chat
like
just said
Tyreek's
gooning.
kids. Tyreek's kids will be more realistic.
Someone in the chat just said gooning right now. My guy. Anyway, all right, folks. And so I teased this earlier in the episode, but I still believe this. This tight end ranking is going to be pretty tough because I'm not going to lie to you. Not a lot of tight end talent in this league. All right.
Tight end universities this week.
It is tight end university, so I think that works out for us. Okay, so I am going to start by saying, as far as talent is concerned and production, we saw Dalton Kincaid have a down year last year, so Bills Mafia, keep in mind I am accounting for that. Surprisingly enough, I think I
not a surprise.
might have to put the Patriots at number 1 in tight end.
Pretty easy.
With Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper.
I can't do. Oh, we're not doing a
Oh,
room
tight end,
on
tight end
tight
one, too.
end.
And I'm
Yeah,
going
we're doing a
off
room on
Dalton
everything.
Kincaid's down year.
We ain't doing it on quarterbacks.
I'm going off of Dalton
Because
Kincaid's
the quarterback's
down
the
year
only
last
one
year.
that
I really
plays. Wait.
But tight
TD
ends,
doesn't
Jerome,
get something. TD doesn't
Tight
get
ends-
something.
Tight ends are typically
No,
no.
You don't get it, TD. You
TD,
use all
it is
three
a
of your tight ends.
room.
You use your entire
It's a
wide receiver
room.
room. You use one quarterback. You don't use two quarterbacks. You use one.
When we rank tight ends, we talk about threats, man.
We talk about the room, the depth, the
So
three.
we talk about starters and depth as a whole. That's
Wow.
how these rankings are being structured. So
Wow.
I'm going to have to go with the Patriots number 1 for me. Then I'm going to have
It's
to
not a
go with
debate.
the Buffalo Bills, Dawson Knox, and Dalton Kincaid, who showed flashes prior to his injury last year. Number 2. Number 3, I would go with the Miami Dolphins with Jonnu. And by the way, he's not going to be on this team. He's probably going to get traded in the next couple of weeks. He's unhappy.
That's not what
he's unhappy. And then number 4 is the New York Jets. Let me just take a look at this.
Mason Taylor breakout. Breakout, baby.
So I can't have into the Jets any higher than 4, and just based off of.
I was very curious before TD goes. I'm going to jump in front of TD here because I was just curious because this position group is an interesting one to rank.
Sure.
It is.
I asked ChatGPT what their rankings are. Can I give you their rankings?
Go ahead.
It's got to be the Jets, or otherwise you wouldn't have brought it up. Go ahead.
No,
it's not
Bills,
anything to do with the Jets. I'll tell you right now, the Jets are 3rd.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Number 1 are the Bills, and it says Dawson Knox, Kincaid, 44 catches, has upside, depth chart. Why number 1, high-end dual threat tight end pairing with strong depth and youth. Number 2.
Oh, that's predictive. Depth and youth. So they're basically
depth and youth. That's what they have. That's right now.
That's predictable what it's going to be.
No, that's not predicting what it's going to be. It's what they have is strong depth and youth. That's what they have. Number 2 is the Patriots. 3 is the Jets, and 4 are the Dolphins. According to ChatGPT.
That's pure crap. Let me ask you, if the Chiefs were in our division, where would they rank in this division?
First.
And so they have Noah Gray as well.
It's an all-time tight end.
All time. You have Travis Kelce and Noah Gray. Who's
all time. Yeah, Noah Gray is probably better than any tight end in this division.
Low key, yeah. Low key, yeah. He's a good tight end too. I'm not gonna lie.
And by the way, I'm not making it up. I mean, ChatGPT knows ball.
No, they don't.
ChatGPT knows ball, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring this up.
Apparently, man. Look at this.
Look at that, dude.
Dolphins last. Wow.
Can you
shout out?
Go ahead. Y'all.
All right, TD.
ChatGPT.
Let's get your tight end rankings. Go ahead.
Dolphins rely on Smith. Lack of dynamic depth keeps them at the bottom. This is why the Dolphins are last. They rely on Jonnu Smith too much. Lack of dynamic depth keeps them at the bottom.
The Dolphins have the game compared to the rest of the division. He was the best tight end in the division last year as well. 900 yards, 88 catches, and 8 touchdowns. And you know what's crazy about it? That's more production than almost all y'all tight ends combined. By the way, number 2, I'll have to go with. It is true. What's your tight end doing? What's your tight ends doing, Kobe?
You'll find out here shortly.
Yeah, whatever.
You'll find out here
anyway.
shortly.
Yeah, I mean, I give them some love. I get the Patriots 2, the Bills 3, and Jets 4.
All right, well, I've never really done this before, but I may just have to. This is my rankings, man. ChatGPT brings up a fantastic point.
You're ripping ChatGPT. This just in.
Just on this ranking.
Just in, Richie replaced by ChatGPT is the Jets Roundtable.
Hey, ChatGPT got it on ours that ain't even on the team anymore.
Hey, man.
About wide receivers. Let's see what they say.
I don't know. They think Mason Taylor's incoming and he's unproven, but has high upside and will provide a spark.
You're projecting the future, though, Rich. Come on.
Baby. All right. It was a joke.
Colby, go ahead.
I wasn't actually going to do the ChatGPT list. I just thought it was funny that they have the Dolphins last. I think that I'm really disappointed in the Bills and Dalton Kincaid. I honestly, to this point, think I'm not going to use the word bust because he's not bad. But I think that Dalton Kincaid has not lived up to expectations. I think that's just the facts. I'm going to put the Patriots at number 1 because I think they're more balanced. I think that Gesicki and Hunter Henry are more of a balanced 1-2 that you know. And Austin Hooper.
Patriots no more.
Gesicki's in the Bengals.
Oh yeah, he left. So it's
Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry.
Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry.
Yeah, and they lost.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be Kincaid and Knox then. I had a feeling it was going to be the other way around. I think I may have to switch it then. I thought that Gesicki was still with them, but he's not.
Gesicki's bums.
So I'm going to have to flip it around. I'm going to go with Kincaid and Knox. I think Dawson Knox, low-key, has been more reliable and better than Kincaid. So I'm going to go Bills 1. I'm going to put the Patriots 2. And then I'll put the Dolphins 3 and the Jets last. The Jets are purely unproven. I'm not going to argue that the Jets are above 4 at this position.
All right, Colby. Thoughts?
You know, it's actually a little bit hurtful. I'll be honest with you guys. It's a little bit hurtful that we can never praise the New England Patriots. I mean, it's been rough. 2 back-to-back 4-win seasons. It's been rough for your boy, okay? This is the one thing we have, and y'all couldn't even give me that. I mean, come on, it's men's mental health.
Yo, me and Richie ranked you number 1.
Y'all couldn't even give me that. Actually, no, Richie brought it down to 2. Richie brought us down to 2.
Well, I ranked it number 1, Colby. I ranked the tight ends number 1.
You're the only one that cares about my mental stability, Dan. Thank you. But you know what? It is undoubtedly the New England Patriots at number 1. Are you kidding me? I mean, between the ability to block and receive between Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, I mean, are we serious right now? Both of those guys, by the way, I want to emphasize this. Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry both dealt with injuries at points this past season. Yet still, Hunter Henry in 2024, 66 receptions, 674 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Austin Hooper, 476 yards and 3 touchdowns. So between them, that is 5 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards, okay? I want to make that clear. I'm going to go with Jonnu Smith and the Miami Dolphins at number 2. Okay? Jonnu Smith, I think, had a really, really good year. He had 884 yards. He had 8 touchdowns. Okay? And everyone's going to say, but we're talking about the overall core. Well, Jonnu Smith still put up more touchdowns and receiving yards than both of Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox put together. The core that you guys are trying to put at number 1, I just want to emphasize that, okay? Because Dalton Kincaid, 448 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dawson Knox, 311 yards and 1 touchdown. It's not a debate. Patriots are this is easy to do. Like, this is not a debate. It is Patriots 1, Dolphins 2, Bills 3, and the Jets don't have a tight end core right now, so they're easily 4.
I'll argue with you about number 1, though, Kobe, and here's why. I'm not mad at Patriots being 1, but hear me out here, okay? Hear me out, because put your guys' stats together and put them next to Jonnu.
Over 1,000 yards.
But here's what you need to realize. Durham Smythe took a back seat because Jonnu went off. He was more so the blocking guy. But look at the year before. Durham Smythe put up 400 yards. He had an 83%. The year before is crazy. He had an 83% completion percentage. With over 40 catches. I mean, he just took a backseat to Jonnu this year. That's all it was. He's a threat as well. May not be a volume threat, but he's a threat. But when you put it all together, I'm sorry.
You bring it in 2023 is a wild.
I also think you have to factor in the tight end position is more than just looking at receiving and it's blocking. And the blocking element from the Miami Dolphins takes a step down. I mean, the Dolphins do
take a step down. What are you talking about?
They're pure receivers. Jonnu Smith doesn't block. He's a pure receiver. He ain't no blocker. He's a wide receiver. He's a glorified receiver.
Jonnu had his best season. This is the best year he ever blocked.
Oh, give me
Richie, you're not even in the conversation.
Not yet, because there's potential. We got the rookie that's about to be better than Dalton Kincaid and have a breakout season, baby.
Why
Mason
y'all keep
Taylor.
bringing up Dalton Kincaid? Who is he? He ain't nobody.
It's a first-round pick. That's not lived up to expectations.
I
know he's nobody. I said that. Mason Taylor about to do it, baby. We're 4th right now, but Mason Taylor.
Man, Dalton Kincaid had 440 yards last year.
All right, let's do offensive line and then get out of here.
Let's do offensive line because this is actually one of my favorites, right? It's all about the trenches here.
We can skip this one.
Who is bar none the most consistent? Now, I feel like everybody should have the exact same list, like based off of personnel. I really don't think anybody should differ.
Should we go backwards? Did like Colby go first and then?
Yeah, you know what, dude? So let us get that one viewpoint of this show where, like, so the person speaking has the large camera. right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Now, are we talking?
We have that. It's nicer for clips, man. Like, bro, like we're trying to litter the internet with clips from this show.
Now, offensive line is different though. Dan, are we going what they're going to be this year, or what they? I mean, because a lot of changes.
We are going to go with a little bit of both. Like, say that there was a lot of turnaround, then we can obviously incorporate
The way the
that
roster
within our
looks right
rankings.
now, based off of how they
and
were
the way
in
the
past,
roster looks at right now, based off
heading
of
into the
speculation.
season.
All right, so for my offensive line rankings, I think last place is going to be the Miami Dolphins. It's pretty clear. It is a horrid unit. It is an absolutely horrid unit that this front office continues to ignore, and I think it's going to be tough for their run game and Tua. Next up is the New England Patriots, which certainly had their troubles last year, but I like the effort and that they put into this offseason. So I think that there will be slight improvements. And I think it just goes to show you how how I have zero confidence in the Miami Dolphins offensive line. Like, we are talking about probably the worst offensive line in the NFL. Like, we're not even talking Miami Dolphins are the worst offensive line in the AFC East. We are talking the worst offensive line in the league, perhaps historically, perhaps in the history of the NFL. Might be the worst offensive line I've ever seen. So 4 is the Miami Dolphins. 3 is the New England Patriots. 2 on paper should be the New York Jets. We'll see if they execute. And number 1, bar none, is the Buffalo Bills. Top 3 in run blocking and pass protection last year. Have all the returners coming back. We run a lot of the jumbo package. We excel in gap run schemes, zone run schemes. Like, it is an offensive lines coach wet dream of what Buffalo puts out there. So that is my ranking. Buffalo, number 1. Number 2, the New York Jets. 3, the Patriots. And number 4, the Miami Dolphins, which might go down as a historically bad offensive line in the NFL. TD, thoughts? Go ahead.
Oh, that's good.
What's on me?
Yeah, it's on you. Richie, by the way, what I was talking about, like, was that one where, like, one of us is big, but then, like, there's 3 smalls on the side. Yeah, I'm not even sure if we have that.
I don't have that built out. I have that for 4th and Forever, but
Soon. So we'll learn.
I have
as
it
we go.
actually. Yeah, go.
Did we get rid of that one?
Yeah, we don't have that one built in to the.
We'll learn as
it's
we
not,
go. All right, like, we're thinking about clips here, ladies and gentlemen. But all right, TD, offensive line.
The Jets are the worst offensive line in the division.
Oh man.
No, I'm just playing. The Dolphins are the worst. We all know that. At the end of the day, it's because we got a lot of unknowns now. I like our center. I like our right guard we brought in. We definitely improved in that area. Austin Jackson's pretty solid. The left guard, which everybody wanted in the draft. And then can Patrick Paul be that left tackle? Really, to be quite honest with you, we revamped the O-line. It's just a matter of, can Patrick Paul at the left tackle, live up at least close to what Teron Armstead brought to the table. Everybody's shunning this O-line. We were terrible, but no longer. Other than the left tackle, we don't know what Patrick Paul is going to do in replace of Armstead. But the center was excellent last year for us. Our right guard got hurt last year, but was one of the best guards in the entire NFL. We all, like I said, know Austin Jackson is a good right tackle, not great, but good. In left tackle, it's hard to pronounce his name, but he's a stud. Everybody wanted him.
Yo, he's a stud, but I can't say his name is crazy.
No. You know how to pronounce his last name?
He's so good, I just can't say his name.
Anyway, Dolphins last, obviously, until they prove something. Number 3 is the Jets. The Jets have the second worst O-line. Let's see. Here's the deal. Going into this season, Jets got the third best O-line in the division. The Patriots have jumped the Jets this year. I think they did a good
wish that were
job. Well, I think Cole Strange is your only issue, but I think y'all made some.
We don't have an issue. Just saying.
Yeah, you do. I mean, last year you were 23rd in pass win rate and 29th in run win rate. Don't act like y'all were all that because you got names. That's all the Jets were.
What were the Patriots
names.
last year?
They were 32nd, but they made the improvements.
Exactly. So
made the improvements. We're talking about the line as it's currently constructed.
And so did the Jets.
No, stop it, Richie. Stop it.
Stop what?
Listen, the Jets, y'all had all those names and didn't live up to it last year. And the Patriots, I feel like their O-line got better. I think that they're going to do good whenever you lead the way with Morgan and all of those guys. I think they can really do something. Buffalo.
Yeah, Morgan was the Jet, by the way, last year who sucked.
Stop, man.
Just saying.
That wasn't the only
big part of our metrics that you just listed was because
that wasn't a big. No, it wasn't. You trying to make.
He was
a
starting right tackle.
Anyway, yeah, the Buffalo Bills by far, in my opinion, have the best O line in the division. And I don't think a lot of people really look at the Bills O line. They want to talk about Josh Allen, but Deion, David, all those guys, they're pretty good. I think they're actually top 10 in the league O line. Buffalo, low
top
key.
Three. We're top three, man. We're a good offensive line.
All right. Well, TD ruined it. I thought we were going to be,
unanimous here,
all in agreement. Yeah. But I'll go from bottom down. I'm not going to lie. My first instinct was the Patriots being in last. But then my biggest difference was they actually prioritized the offensive line this offseason. The Dolphins didn't. Still, they're just like, let's just worry about everything on the team besides that position. Because the Patriots' offensive line was literally the worst in the NFL last year. The Dolphins was bad. The Jets was bad. But the Patriots put actual investments into their offensive line this offseason. The Dolphins still don't. They just don't care. So that's why the Dolphins are in last, because my first instinct was New England because of how bad they were last year. Now, the fact that you put even the Jets at number 3, I cannot disagree with that more. You're putting an offensive line in the New England Patriots who were worse than the New York Jets in every single category last year. And now you're factoring in the additions that the Patriots have compared to the additions that the Jets made. The Patriots are third. The Jets are second. Yes, the Jets are unproven, but the Patriots and the Dolphins' offensive line are bad. So that's why the Jets are number 2. The Jets are not number 2 because their offensive line has done anything. It's just because of the current status of the Patriots and the Dolphins. And listen, I really do believe that this, and if you are, a non-Jets fan and you're wondering, what? The Jets offensive line, why are people saying good things about it? Go look up their roster, go look up their age group, and look at what this Jets team is doing on the offensive line. Their last 2 first-round picks were tackles. Our left tackle's first-round pick, right tackle first-round pick. We got another first-round pick in AVT, Joe Tippmann. Our free agent signing, John Simpson last year. They're all young and hungry, and all they need is a proper scheme to put it all together, which the Jets have not had for a long time. We have the worst offensive line coach in NFL history in Keith Carter. I don't know why he was employed. But the Buffalo Bills are at number 1. They are the best offensive line in the division without even blinking an eye.
Colby, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills at number 1 more specifically because, Dan, I don't think anything's changed for you guys this offseason, if I'm correct, right? Like that offensive line.
Continuity
we have all the
is
returners and
everything.
most of the depth. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
And you guys
continuity
were
is the
top
biggest
10
part.
last
most
year.
of the depth back. Yeah.
You guys were top 10 last year, so I'm not going to mess with that because, again, we're mainly going after, okay, what have we seen? What do we know right now and not as much what are we projecting? So I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills number 1, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to the wire here between the Jets and the Bills because I think the Jets have a lot of potential on that offensive line. I like a lot of the moves that they've made, and I think that both of these O-lines are going to finish top 10 in the NFL by the end of 2025. Now, I know the Jets were ranked 17th in the NFL this past year overall by PFF, I believe it was. But again, the additions they made, I think it has potential. The only thing that I am scared of that could bring them down is Justin Fields because those inconsistencies as a passer, he holds on to the ball a little bit. He doesn't sense pressure very well. I think that could actually make the O-line look worse than in reality it actually is. But I'm going to go Bills 1, Jets 2, Patriots number 3. Again, we were the worst in the NFL over the last 2 seasons, according to all metrics. We've put a lot of priority into the offensive line. You drafted Will Campbell in the first round to be your left tackle. You got Morgan Moses, which is a massive, massive upgrade. Guys, we had a defensive tackle turned right tackle playing for us as our primary right tackle all season long. He played over 800 snaps. That's how bad it was. Morgan Moses, I think, is one of the more underrated guys in the league. He does have some injury concerns. I think that's his problem. But when he's on the field, especially from a playing and leadership standpoint, Morgan Moses is an absolute dog. You obviously drafted Jared Wilson. You got some depth there from a veteran standpoint at center. You got Mike Loman returning at right guard. Only question there is at left guard. I do think the Patriots have a lot of questions on this O-line, but I certainly don't think it's going to be the worst in the league again. The Miami Dolphins, they have lost a lot of pieces on this O-line year after year. They have not addressed it. They have not made it a priority the way that they should, especially with how Tua is, given his injury concerns, his concussion concerns. You would think that they would make it more of a priority, and they haven't. So I'm going with the Miami Dolphins fourth.
Y'all don't know nothing about the Dolphins. Why do y'all keep saying we didn't address it?
Damn.
Because you didn't. Who's your left tackle?
So
What did you add?
So bringing in James Daniels and drafting Jonah, drafting him isn't addressing it.
Not the way you needed to. You plugged holes, but you didn't address the need the way you should have.
So hold on. Can you put that on the screen, Richie? So investing in this guy, the second best.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I teach you guys how to do this properly?
Yeah, my mind is glitching out. It doesn't matter, Kobe. He's a good.
No.
One of the better guards.
Was this based off of?
He's one of the better guards in the league, Kobe. We know this.
How many snaps was this based off of?
He's one of the better guards in the league, ranked second out of 136, Kobe.
Snaps.
That's on the right side.
You went out there and said A-Chain had the bad offensive line, by the way.
Look at 2023.
No, this is just this year. This is this year. Richie, we just got him. We brought him in free agency.
2024. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't with the Dolphins. He wasn't with us when he put these numbers up. We just invested in him. Then we drafted Jonah Savin, and everybody knows Jonah is a stud.
Drafted who? What's
so
his name?
That is
Jonas
I can't say his last name. Jova Savanaya. But everybody, am I tripping by saying that Jonah should be a really good guard in this league?
You have no idea.
What is his prospect, Kobe? You're the draft guru. Was he one of the high touted guards that a lot of people wanted on their team, including some of y'all?
Some people had him projected as a second. I certainly never saw anyone projected as a high second. I had him more projected as a third, but based off of how the offensive linemen were flying off the board, I think naturally you had to select those guys earlier than usual. He has guard and tackle versatility, but he's projected to be more of a guard in the NFL due to size.
All I'm saying is stop saying that we didn't address anything. These are two what we believe going to be really good players for us. We can't do nothing about the left tackle who we drafted in the second round last year. He got to get his opportunity. Austin Jackson solidified on the right, and Brewer in the middle Brewer's been excellent for us. I feel like they've addressed the O-line. Now it's a matter of, will it work? Let's see. But these are some good pieces. Probably better than the Jets now.
Probably better than the Jets. Yeah, man, I can't wait for defense. Defense is going to be where it's gritty.
Well, we got the defensive breakdown next week on the AFC East Roundtable. Dan,
yes.
Why don't you wrap things up for us? Because the NBA draft just kicked off, baby.
Yeah, let me tell you exactly what is going on, guys. We appreciate you for tuning in to another edition of the AFC East Roundtable. Guys, listen, I've noticed something. We have been stuck at 17,000 subscribers for quite some time. And you know what? Like, we cannot thank all of you for making Roundtable Sports AFC East a part of your daily routine. If you guys could do us a favor and subscribe and turn on bell notifications if you haven't already. I'm sure there's probably a lot of you who like to lurk and watch a little bit from the background, but subscribing and turning on bell notifications so that we can always have over 200 people watching us, even during the off season, a more regular occurrence. We love each and every single one of you. And until next time, deuces.
Peace out, everybody.
Super Bowl. Best overall offense, Miami, though. You know it.
No, the Bills. 100% the Bills.
Come on, man. It's just Josh Allen. Stop.
Just Josh Allen. They still have the best offense.
What the offense? Just